Hello and welcome to this Banega Swasth India Facebook Live. As we all are geared and excited for the launch of season 8 of the campaign, we have a very special guest with us, Ravi Bhatnagar. He's Director External Affairs and Partnerships, South Asia, Reckitt. Thank you so much, Ravi, for joining us today.
Thank you, Ambika. It's been a privilege to work with the NDTV team on this very ambitious campaign of Detol Banega Swasth India.
Ravi, before we start on taking the questions from our viewers, it's been a long journey, 7 years, from Banega Swachh India to Swasth India. And now we're actually talking about Swasth India and Sampann India. So, सिर्फ एक स्वस्थ भारत ही एक संपन्न भारत बन सकता है. What are your thoughts on that? Because you work quite closely on this. Because at the end of the day, the health of a country definitely has to do a lot with the progress of it.
Thank you, Ambika. This is very, very important question. More important because we are nearing 75th, year of India's independence. And this 75 years of India's independence have taught us a lot of lessons. So one of the very interesting and important lesson is we can do it. When I say we can do it, we have shown it, we have proven it many times. Either it was a case of smallpox or it was a case of polio eradication, or India's response to the HIV and tuberculosis, or India's response to, wellness centers, or providing health insurance to millions of Indians through a very ambitious scheme of the government, which is Ayushman Bharat. Or now we are moving ahead on something which is very, very interesting and fascinating, that is working on the digital health records. So each Indian will have the digital health records, which will help each one of us to be better, to be more healthier. And this is something which is very, very vital for tracking from the public health point of view, like how India is performing on the key health indicators. So my journey has been really, really, interesting, starting from the very baby footsteps of starting this whole, campaign with NDTV, where we worked with 2,500 schools in the season 1, reaching on behavior change. The NDTV Detol bus reached some of the villages in India. And then, now reaching out to 20 million school kids across India, working with the adolescent, working on the adolescent health, working on the newer and the finest concepts like the self-care, working with the government of Uttar Pradesh and others on the Detol Hygiene Impact Bond, and encouraging the tech companies like, Whitehead Junior and others to be partners so that, the kids, the millions of kids actually can come and do the coding on hygiene and sanitation. And they are coming up with some fascinating ideas which are mind-boggling.
So, in fact, Ravi, you've summed it up really well. When we talk about our journey and the kind of work which we're doing together, and of course, what Reckitt is also doing. We have a lot of viewer questions coming in, but just another thing I want to talk. We're going to be launching on the 3rd of October with our campaign ambassador, Mr. Bachchan. This year we've thought of, actually leaving no one behind. That's a very, very important thought, because we've also realized, we've learned that during COVID, that we cannot leave anybody behind. It's not just about us, but also we're focusing on one health, one planet, one future. What are your thoughts on that?
I will start I will try to summarize it in one word: Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. That's the key thing. Like, Sabka Saath will only be possible when Sabka Vikas happens, and Sabka Vikas will only happen when India is healthy. And India will be healthy when there will be no one who is left behind. India has a huge number of indigenous populations. The populations scattered in the states of Odisha, in state of Chhattisgarh, in state of West Bengal. There are populations which are there in Andaman and Nicobar Islands. There are a lot of primitive tribes which are there. This is a time we do a wake-up call and we bring everyone together so that healthcare is not a privilege. Healthcare is a right. And, we strengthen the foundation of the inspirational districts, and we support India's growth story on health, where we actually contribute significantly by reducing the mortality and morbidity. We work all together with the public-private patient partnership, and we work on something called, a concept of one health, one world, one future, where we are not just taking care of the human beings, we are also taking care of the plants, we are taking care of the animals, we are taking a 360-degree approach so that no one is left behind through our campaign.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's time we as a nation start doing this. In fact, it's a very, very important goal which we're looking at. Let me take on the first question, Ravi, and we can continue our conversation. Aishwarya wants to know, we're talking about inclusivity. How do you think we can include people from marginalized communities, LGBTQ, and bring them to the forefront?
Very, very interesting question, Ambika, this one. I mean, say, India's journey against Article 377 for the LGBTQI plus rights and entitlements is a very long journey. I must congratulate Government of India, Ministry of Social Justice, who is proactively taking steps to ensure the inclusion and inclusivity in overall all the programs. And as a company, we also believe in this. This must be done. Few examples I would like to share with you. In the last calculation of the populations through the census, that was the first time when the transgender population was also mapped, and a big surprise, 400,000 transgender population was mapped through that. They have a huge need. They have their own rights. They have their own issues. So how to deal with those issues? Maybe their health issues, their poverty issues, their food security issues, their entitlement issues, the job issues, and other issues. So how we
Yes.
can actually cohesively work together and provide solutions to the populations which were actually never considered before in the census of India. Second interesting thing is I'm meeting regularly a lot of youngsters across India, Saddam from Manipur. He started an organization called YAL. So YAL is not just taking care of the mental health issues of the LGBTQI plus populations. They have been very successful, and they are very ambitious in terms of putting together the first India's soccer team of the LGBTQI plus populations in Manipur, where kids from various northeastern states have come together, and they're learning. Then the scholarships, YAL is actually offering to the others on the similar grounds. Like when I
Yes.
see the organization like Tweet Foundation, they started something called Garima Grace in Mumbai. This is also a very, very fascinating concept. But nevertheless, the efforts are huge. Everyone has to come together. And in my whole career journey, I have seen the work done by Ashok Rao Kavi, alias Amma, who was the ex-head of Humsafar Trust. A lot is being done by Ashok Rao Kavi. My sincere gratitude towards G.V. Prasada Rao, who was one of the NACO heads. And I would love to acknowledge the efforts of Lakshmi Narayan Tripathi, Manvinder Singh Gohil. These were the guys who were the very early champions for inclusion and diversity. And these are the guys who worked a lot to help to revert and halt the HIV epidemic, and helping reaching to the milestones, which is 90-90-90, so that the maximum testing can happen, people go out and get the benefits and entitlements. Definitely the journey is huge. Reckitt from its own side, under the Detol Banega Swasth India program, is invested in this issue, and we are starting our first center for the transgender health in Vrindavan in Uttar Pradesh soon. And that will be, with a big network of around 50,000 doctors, which will be overall, giving the health benefits to over 400,000 mapped transgender population in India. Although this looks, a small effort, but its reach is vital, because these are the key populations which have huge number of, health issues, sociological issues, psychological issues, well-being issues, which needs to be taken care. And it is every one of us responsibility to stand with them, and we reduce the gap between they and us. It should be one world, it should be one future, it should be one country.
Actually, like you said, it is we all need to take that on us, our responsibility to reduce the gap. And like what you said, Ravi, about inclusion, pioneers like whether it's Manvinder Gohil, whether it's Lakshmi Narayan Tripathi, Ashok Rao Kavi, they've done some great, credible job, and they've been doing it for years. So, I'm glad, we're getting that a part of our campaign. The next question is a very basic question. Barkha wants to know, what is the aim of the telethon, and what is the campaign trying to achieve this season?
Very, very interesting question indeed, Ambika. It's been fascinating journey working and co-creating the campaigns under the leadership of Dr. Roy, under the leadership of our global CEO Lakshman and our regional, South Asia head Gaurav Jain. So this year, the focus is quite huge. Focus is on one health, one planet, and one future. But it's not just limited to this. There is a very beautiful lineup of the whole journey is for that day. It starts with the 75 years of health, nutrition, and hygiene in India, followed by something which is a very interesting and noble concept on which the UN is also working. It's a UN 2030 goal on leaving no one behind. And third important milestone which we will be discussing is basically on the self-care. Like in the West, a lot of work is happening on the self-care, and in the US, in UK, in Europe. We also want, India should also get benefit of our experience, what we have worked across the globe, and how we can actually work towards India's growth trajectory on the healthcare. Interesting bit is it's not just us. It's basically government also taking the quantum leap. When you see the GDP, which has been put behind, and the budgets which are earmarked behind the healthcare are never seen before, are never witnessed before.
Yes.
And the whole
Absolutely.
COVID response, how the COVID response has been taken care of, how Prime Minister himself is deeply involved and is deeply encouraging everyone to take care of three basic steps, like hand washing, face masking, and maintaining social distance,
Yes.
along with the vaccination. So, going to the next topic, what we'll be discussing on this, journey on the 3rd of October is the India's health and nutrition hygiene story post COVID-19. We're also trying to, bring some of those, some of the people who have been really, really at the forefront of, helping people, and we have seen public conscious was all-time high. So we had a very beautiful campaign called Dettol Salutes,
Yes.
where it was a sincere gratitude to everyone who participated in the whole campaign. And we are talking about the common man and the common woman, and everyone in the campaign, so that the whole concept of leaving no one behind can be made lively. After that, we are talking about something which is on the science and hygiene. These are some of the important pillars which we are going to talk throughout the day.
Of course, and mental health, which I'm going to be asking you a question. I do have a couple of more questions, but Ravi, a personal question to you. You told us about the Dettol Salutes campaign. We've spoken about the work Reckitt does, our campaign. Something which I want to ask you, which you don't really talk about, is your personal work. You've been doing a lot of work out there, which you usually don't speak, but I'm sure we would all want to know that you've been going on the bike, helping people, distributing. So you yourself are a COVID warrior, but just not you don't speak about it.
Thank you, Ambika. A lot of work which I do on the personal level, it's a reflection of the organization where I work. And, the compass of the organization on the purpose keeps me driving, keeps me awake at night. I also want to thank, everyone, every well-wisher from Reckitt, in India, from outside, who are always very encouraging, as well as definitely my family, my colleagues. There's not a single day like when I ever asked, help, and I was not able to. Maybe like it was a plasma donation. We created a network of the largest plasma donations, but through Bikers for Good in India. Then
Yes.
donating the blood, and now working with a huge number of orphan and vulnerable children who are impacted by the COVID. There are certain kids who are double orphans. There are certain kids who are maternal orphan. There are certain kids who are paternal orphans. We,
Yeah.
from our earnings, from our savings, what Reckitt pay us as salary, I make sure amount towards that goes toward the things which really drive me. And I personally think like I'm blessed. Like I'm working with the brands like Dettol. I'm working with the brands like Durex. I'm working with other brands too, where this brand, there is a huge legacy of these brands. And when I see the journey of my leaders in the company, like Lakshman and Gaurav and Ranjay and Miguel, so I personally think if they can do it, I should also do something in my life which will have positive societal impact. Uh, and it's just a humble beginning, and I'm very sure days will be there when I will be able to contribute on a much larger scale. Thank you so much.
No, Ravi, thanks for sharing that. So we'll take a last question. In fact, there are quite a few which are coming in, but the one which I thought thought we should talk about because it has affected each one of us in some way, right? So Asta Ahuja wants to know, how can we take mental health to the far-flung area, especially when there is a dearth of mental health professionals in our country? So Asta wants to know that, in fact, just to put it, I mean, we do know there's a huge shortage of psychiatrists in our country when it comes, according to what the WHO actually recommends. So how are we going to do that, Ravi?
Very interesting question indeed, Ambika. Very, very pertinent in these times. So everyone doesn't need a psychiatrist, by the way. Everyone doesn't need a psychologist, by the way. India has a ratio which is not very cool for Indian population in terms of the mental health workers ratio population. But definitely there are some large attempts done in India where there's a concept of barefoot doctors, the last mile doctors. So in the same way, the whole concept of barefoot doctors can be actually put, or the barefoot mental health professionals can be put across India, across Bharat, so that this urban-rural divide for seeking the mental health care and support can be taken care of. We have huge difference in India. There are institutes of repute, like you have the WIMHANS, you have NIMHANS, you have Tata Institute of Social Sciences, and many others like that. And then you have a big network of organizations in India, which are civil society organizations working on the mental health issues. I must want to put one thing on record, Ambika, which people actually get confused with. There's a huge difference between the mental health and the mental illness. So all mental health issues are not mental illness issues. So therefore, it's important, like, we also focus on some of our Ayush, healthcare systems, where we talk about the Siddha, we talk about the yoga, we talk about pranayam, we talk about those things, which world also now acknowledges it in a very big way. So it should start with oneself, but definitely people need help. Therefore, there are further investments which are required through the wellness centers, which government is investing significantly across India, so that these issues can be sorted out. Last but not the least, there is a huge support network which is required if you have the if you have the mental health issues or the mental wellness issues. So there needs to be a network of the barefoot supporters. There need to be champions in the local communities, so that there is a network which is available for the care support. This is what is my submission towards this question. Thank you so much, Ambika.
Ravi, you've summed it up really well. And yes, mental health for our viewers, it is going to be a very important part, because we've all gone through it in some way or the other. And mental well-being is what we're looking at. And this is what this campaign is about, a holistic approach to everything. Thank you so much, Ravi, for joining us. And we're really looking forward to season 8, which we're launching on the 3rd of October in Mumbai with Mr. Amitabh Bachchan. Thank you, Ravi.
Thank you so much, Ambika. Thank you to NDTV team who has been continuously inspiring us, continuously co-creating the programs for us, and making sure our programs reaches to the last mile too. Thank you so much.